nothing to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limit.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and our home team. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Check 53, Mike. Drop deep, drop deep. Check 50, check 50.
On first down, Brooks. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Prescott. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
He's checking crack.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He is going to find Hill here. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Here we go. Go ahead, Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Go ahead. Watch the screen.
Prescott off play action. Flushed out right. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
On 2nd down, It's Brooks. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Under.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Go. Get out there. Set. Check 54. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line in. 26.
To throw is Prescott. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. The Broncos send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Watch out.
Throwing is Luck. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
At the 22-yard line.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Push him back.
On 2nd down, this is Harris.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Got nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Luck. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Good.
Mike's 50. You better be a
Play action now, Prescott. And going deep for Hill. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, it's Love. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Harris. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's Love. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd down now, it's Harris. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
Out of the gun, Love. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They run it with Carson. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Carson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Mike 50. Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, let's get in them holes.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
That's a gain of 10. Brings up 3rd and 2.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a give, right side. Carson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will do the job nicely, as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 8-yard line.
Check out. Line 40. 11. 58, 58. Hey, Charlie. 58 to Mike, 58.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Luck. On the crossing route, complete. It's Terry. Last play they got stumped at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner. Toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. To throw is Long. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Sony Michel, and it's 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And it brings up 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Love. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for Indy. 45 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
Come on, fellas.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. on the counter. Harris. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. You hate that for him. He gets so close on the big run, but has him in excellent position.
And I know there's plenty of competitive spirit on the defensive side of the ball, but part of me wonders if they would have just preferred him to go ahead and take it into the end zone rather than dealing with him again on a likely carry on this down.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Third down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. On play action, Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This will be taken at the 10. A good return there, 17 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Ben Banogu. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll fake it. Now Love. On the crossing route, complete. It's Terry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long.
Go!
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety
Love. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Check out. 240.
Watch the run. They're running it.
A run for Nick Chubb. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check out. 390. 11.
Throwing on third down. Love. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Watch the pass.
Luck now to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a first down carry for Harris. Oh, what a juke into space. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. You decide to throw the football.
And he's going to go down again. A'Shawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. This is Carson. And an alley to run. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Colts 1st down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They run with Harris. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
On 2nd and 12, Luck. And he's got the hook up to Moore. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Here's Luck. And he will find his man on the outside. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. From the red zone now, Luck. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, bring it up. At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd and very short, Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing, Prescott. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. One heck of a third down conversion, 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Gerald Everett is tight end, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go.
And we got Mike, number 53.
Gun.
Check.
47.
Mike, 53.
26.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
Some nifty running, but it only gets him to the 45. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Watch the slant.
Chubb on the counter. And an alley to run. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro, and that will extend this big lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 43.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 16-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Slam, slam, slam.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
54 is much.
From the gun on third down, Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down to bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A second down throw for Prescott. They'll find Everett there, complete. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Yeah. You don't want none.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
On third down, it's Prescott. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. A good pickup there, 22. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Check nickel, nickel. Under crunch.
On first down, Brooks. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. 2nd and 5 now. Prescott. And Diggs has it. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
First down. First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Now it's Carson at a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against him.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Off the play fake, Prescott to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Yeah, maybe a final chance to get on the scoreboard here. This is 4th and goal.
Mike 50. You ain't going nowhere.
Prescott to throw on 4th. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 26-yard line.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Colts, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.